Hey everybody, I'm Marisa and I have one of my best friends in the whole world, Gigi Levangie, the badass goddess selects. Man, do we have a lot to talk about. I said no holds barred, no punches pulled in this episode, babe. So what do you say? Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Let's do it. Or as my son would say, let's fucking go. LFG.
Let's fucking go. So a little bit about you for people who don't know you. I mean, everybody should know who you are because you're amazing. But I'm just going to dive into your life a little bit here.
Okay.
And I've got your bio. You're Gigi. You're an author, screenwriter, producer, and you're a New York Times bestselling author, award-winning screenwriter whose sharp satirical voice has captivated readers and viewers alike. She is the author of 7 novels, man, including the Emmy Award-winning Starter Wife, which became a hit miniseries starring Deborah Messing.
Yes.
I'm not going to mess with that one. Messing. Get it?
That's okay. Capricorn humor.
That's I know, because we're dark bitches, yeah. Okay, her other books are Rescue Me, Maneater, Queen Takes King, 7 Deadlies, Fast and Loose, Been There, Married That. I could say about that myself. Gigi also wrote the hit film Stepmom, starring Julia Roberts and Susan Sarandon. You're developing multiple screenplays, Breathe, Baby Hold On, Ella and Marilyn, which sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Your work has appeared in Harper's Bazaar, Vogue, Glamour. You're moving to, like, you're in Tennessee now, and you're moving to, can we say you're moving somewhere?
Miami. Well, I'll have a place in Miami and, a spot in Tennessee. I used to have a ranch, and now I live in a townhouse. I downsized quite a bit. And I don't know. I wanted to go where my kids are, but I don't know where my younger son is going to be. He graduates West Point in a year.
Congratulations on that, man.
Thank you. There are some really special kids there, I have to say. It makes you feel good about being American. So I don't know where he's going to be, but my older son is in New York. And so I was thinking about New York as well. We'll see what's left.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're in Florida because,
Yeah. I'll be there. I love Florida.
I'm so happy you're moving.
You look at you. You're all tan. You're literally glowing.
Oh, thanks.
I love it.
Yeah. I need to get the hair. The one thing I haven't found is a good hair person. So
that is the eternal issue, is when you move somewhere, what do you do? What do you do with this? What do you do with this? What do you do?
I know. It's a bit of an issue, right? Yeah.
I think I found somebody, but my favorite person is in Santa Monica. So I'm back in LA. I'm in LA like a week out of the month because I need to see my peeps out there too.
Yeah, well, one of your favy peeps is going to be where you're moving to. So there you go.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. So Gigi, so you've worked in books, publishing, magazines, Hollywood. And like you're big on Twitter. I mean,
coffee shops.
Coffee shops.
Yeah.
So what's been like your biggest challenge creatively? Like what medium do you like working in, and what's been your biggest challenge?
Gosh, I don't have a preferred medium, although I feel like I know how to write a screenplay if I really love the idea. I know how to write it out pretty quickly. But novels, I love writing novels. I love the magic of everything coming together, and just that you have to have faith and keep moving, keep going 1,000 words a day. If you're writing a novel, 5 pages a day, if you're writing a screenplay. I love it all. I mean, a bad day for me is not to have written. Really, if I don't write or exercise, or move, that's a bad day.
So to me, like writing is like muscle, use it or lose it. So it's interesting that you say, if you don't exercise, because you're
Yeah.
flexing that writer's muscle,
Yes. And you have to, it really, consistency is the key, because you can lose the thread. I'm working on 2 screenplays at once right now. And
Mm-hmm.
I like to work on both of them during the day, but I break it up. But if I don't work, if I skip one, then I go back and I'm like, okay, I have to read the last 10 pages. I have to get back into the flow of it. I have to hear the voices again. The voices,
Yeah, the voices.
the voices,
Yeah. So like
the
when you're
characters.
working on when you're working on 2 different screenplays, like
Mhm.
at the same, like not at the same time, but on the same
Yeah.
day, right? So do you work on one in the morning, one in the afternoon, or like
It's
do you
kind of
work?
what I feel
Okay.
like. One of them is a thriller and super fun. Like, just, I love this character.
Mm-hmm.
And she's so bad. And then one is a total comedy, like Dodgeball. So they're so different. Um, and it's just kind of fun. I grew up, I was such a reader growing up. It's the only thing I was really good at. My sisters were all athletes, and I was a little fat thing living in
I can't believe that because you're like
smoking
so
on smog.
skinny. You're
I
so like
ah,
tight.
so I don't know what happened.
What happened?
I don't know. I grew. Between, like, up to the age of 13, I was first or second violin in 2 different orchestras, and then I grew, and all that went away, and I became a cheerleader. It's like,
You
just
did? Oh my God. You were a
I
cheerleader?
yeah, for all through high school.
I
Cheerleader,
was
the
art girl. I
whole
know
the
that's
whole
hard to
thing.
believe.
You were what?
I was art girl. I said, I know that's hard to believe.
It's really hard. Let me just try to visualize that. I don't know.
I mean, I was the one who wore black and was always drawing, but you're like, you were a cheerleader.
I was a cheer I'm very good at cheerleading people. Okay, also
That's true.
I'm very loud.
You're
So
very,
I
you're a cheerleader. You are.
am. I'm a cheerleader. So that was really fun. Hollywood High, the Sheiks, loved it.
Wait,
Um,
you went to Hollywood High?
yes, Hollywood High, graduated in 1979. I was 16 when I graduated. I had skipped a
Okay.
grade. I was 10 years old, I did all that. I was 10 years old in the 7th grade, but I started smoking pot. So, maybe I should have waited. Maybe they should have
Right.
till I was 12. But anyway,
You waited until you were 12.
yeah,
Okay.
it was
Wow.
Hollywood. We grew up fat. It was
Fast and
fast
loose.
track, fast and loose, babe. That's
Yeah.
right, fast and
Fast
loose.
and loose.
Yeah. So
So, oh wow. So Gigi, now it makes sense that
it's
you were a
all
cheerleader in Hollywood.
it's all coming together. It's all coming together. Yeah.
It is. Wow. So, I mean, I grew up in like suburban New Jersey. But okay, so you had like a fast and loose kind of,
City,
Hollywood High grew up pretty,
total
you know.
city. We had an open campus. We could leave campus during the day. But I was always like a good girl. I mean, I did hitchhike to the beach with my older sister. I wrote a script about that, about one of our adventures where we hitchhiked to the Oakwood Apartments because we were 10 and 13. We heard that Black Sabbath was staying there.
Oh my God.
I swear. So we sneaked in. We were kicked out. We sneaked in again. I mean, it's just crazy.
Were they staying there?
Well, we thought we saw one of them with like all that chest hair and a big cross, by the pool. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what we were gonna do once we found them. We didn't have it quite thought out. But
Right. So how old were you then?
I was 10 and she was
You were
13.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we would hitchhike. I don't know. And my dad was very strict, but we didn't have find your iPhone or anything, we couldn't we couldn't be located. There were no phones. I wouldn't say we stole cars, but we hotwired a couple, you know.
Gigi, I didn't know this about you.
Yeah, I'm a well-rounded individual.
You certainly are. You're multifaceted,
Damn it.
well-rounded,
Yeah,
a bandit.
a bandit. That's true too.
That's pretty funny. Oh my God. All right. So how did your childhood sort of like parlay into what you're doing now and affect your writing career?
Well, I think, okay, I won like all the reading contests in elementary school, who read the most over the summer, who read the most during the year, all that stuff. I won all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was also focused on writing stories, and my teachers really encouraged me. I was shitty. I was not good at math, not good at math. But I was in the gifted program, and I could read anything I wanted to read. And from the time I was little, I had a library card. We used to walk down to the Cahuenga Library, pick up our stack of books. So I loved the escape of reading.
Mm-hmm.
I read the same books, all of Roald Dahl, like over and over and over again, Um, and when I started working for Fred Silverman, I was 20 years old, and I was reading scripts. And
Wow. So you worked for Fred Silverman when
yeah,
you were 20. Okay. So for people
20,
who don't know
well,
who he is,
he
can
was
you?
head of all three networks. He was known as the Boy Wonder. Brandon Tartikoff was his protege. And he was known for putting Roots on the air. He was a television whiz. Now, that's ironic because I was not allowed to watch much television when I was growing up. And
That's so funny. So the thing that you weren't allowed to do, you wound up doing,
yeah,
working it.
I mean, my dad kept a little black and white. Like, he made it as off-putting as possible to watch
Mm-hmm.
television. But what happened was I was reading these scripts and I thought, I can write just as shitty as these people, because
That's hilarious.
they were getting paid a ton of money. I didn't grow up with money. Teachers, my mom was a teacher salary covering 6 people. It's not. But most people I know didn't have money at all. So I don't know. I just thought, well, I didn't think it was this huge thing to go after. I thought, wait a minute, they're getting paid 6 figures. They're getting paid high, whatever, to write these scripts, and they're okay.
Right.
They're adequate. They're all right.
Mm-hmm.
So with that kind of hubris, I started writing, and eventually, you just keep going and you get somewhere. I took a class called Writer's Boot Camp, and I was the only one to finish.
Oh, really?
You're supposed to write a screenplay in 6 weeks, and I was the only one to finish. And I still know Jeff Gordon. He's a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And still today, and that was, I don't know, 40 years ago or something insane.
So, Gigi, so here's the thing. Okay, so you're very, I mean, what I'm learning about you, and I didn't know this about you, is, okay, I knew that you were rebellious, but I mean, doing what you did when you were 10 years old, and
I think
and then
positional defiant disorder, I think.
I think it reflects in your writing and your whole vibe, and and pretty much everything you do. You do speak your mind, and that's what I really admire about you. You just say what you think, and you don't really care what people have to say about it.
I mean, not really. I don't know how to make myself
Mm-hmm.
care. I mean, I care
Mhm.
about other people. I don't want to hurt anyone. Um, you know, I don't want collateral damage.
Mhm.
So I sometimes I'll be careful about that. But frankly, I I don't care about being invited to the dinner table or the dinner party. I've done all of that. I did it at the
Uh-huh.
highest level, the highest level,
You did.
what people think of as the highest level. And um, I don't know what he, it was
So it's
never,
kind of like been there, married that,
it
right?
was
I
never
mean,
my ambition. So it's hard to care. I really care about writing. I care about exercise. I care about my boys and that's
mhm.
my nephews as well. Um,
Mhm.
so family, if I'm cooking, writing, working out in the day, that's a pretty good day. If I'm feeding somebody I love, that's,
Mhm.
so I also grew up like my dad would say to us, he was an ex-staff sergeant and he raised 4 little girls and he would,
That's funny.
yeah, if we got in a fight at school, he
Yeah.
would say, "Who got the last punch?"
Not like who started it or what happened. He'd be like, he all he wanted to know is who got the last punch.
Who got the last punch? So it's like my production company is called Last Punch Productions. And it's sort of like
That's great,
if
actually.
you can just keep standing, if you can be, if you can be the oak, sometimes the willow, sometimes you got to move with
Mhm.
the oak and just stand strong, deep roots, you're going to be okay. But I'd rather get knocked down or try, if people try to knock you down, whatever, than be afraid and then be a sycophant or a sheep or
Yeah,
I
well,
just
you're not
don't
that.
know how to do it. I don't. I wish
You
I did. I don't.
you've never been a sheep or a sycophant. I
No, I
mean,
don't give a
yeah, you don't, that's not you. And you know what? I mean, let's be honest. We've both in the past few years have had some issues with not who gives a shit what people say, right?
no, I don't care. I look at the cancelers and I look at their
That's what I'm
lives and I look at their children and I look at their choices. And yeah, I don't feel so bad.
I don't
Like, I'm
feel so bad
sorry, what
either.
they think is important, power,
Mhm.
money, fame. I forget the fourth
Fitting
one.
in, fitting in.
David Foster Wallace had these in his famous commencement speech. But basically, I have this saying, it's choose your God or your God chooses you. So who's your God? Is it
Mhm.
fame? Are you so desperate to become famous? You'll say anything, you'll do anything to become famous, or you want your kid to become famous. That's like money, you'll do anything for money, you'll do anything for power. I don't, I, it's not interesting to me. I would love to have everything I write work really well. And of
Mhm.
course, the, you, you, you want respect and all that stuff, but it's more important that you respect yourself.
Yeah. But you know what's weird to me though? It's like someone once said there are people who want to be left alone, and there are people who won't leave the people who want to be left alone
Yeah, I want to be left.
alone.
Yeah, just leave
Yeah.
me the fuck alone.
Like you and I are both like, do
Yeah.
no harm, take no shit. We want to be left alone, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And like
But if
there
we're
are
not
those
left alone,
what?
if people insist on not leaving you alone and then, suffer the consequences because there will be. Like, I don't know what to tell you, whether it's me, whether it's karma, whether it's the way the universe works. It just always, my favorite saying is stand by the riverbank long enough to see the bodies of your enemies float by. So you just need patience. That's either
That's
a Chinese proverb or a Jewish proverb. I don't know which one it is, but it's so good.
that's really good.
You just hold it.
So like I envision you and I like standing by the riverbed, drinking our like organic coffee and watching that shit go down.
Let's go, baby. I mean, it's crazy. And here I'm 62. I'm like, I've been through so much. Also, when you've gone through intense heartache or, huge setbacks or whatever it is, you just get a thicker skin. And as you get older, my wish is for everyone to get older because you just don't care as much.
Hmm.
It was hard
Yeah.
for me to care when I was younger. Now it's over 60. It's just like, oh,
Well, I mean, you've really have been through a lot,
yeah,
like in your life. I mean, you had an incredible, you do have a big life. You still have a big life. It just shifted.
yeah.
Um, you know?
I'm traveling so much. I never thought I would do that. I thought
Hmm.
I was just set and going to be happy in my ranch in Tennessee and growing, vegetables at the best melons that you could ever eat. And chickens, I mean, we're ordering sheep, and it was a whole thing, full bore. And
Hmm.
then, of course, my husband passed away, and that just like a bomb dropped in our lives, my children's lives. He was their best friend in the
I
world.
know. He was such a great man, Chris.
He's the reason that Patrick is at West Point. He was special forces paratrooper, French
I didn't know that.
French army. Yes.
Wow.
Oh
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
a sharpshooter. Like the guy was unbelievable. The different types of talents he had. He was an artist, NBA photographer, the most beautiful shots, PBR. And he loved this country more. You can't find a man who was a bigger patriot than Chris because he knew he was from France, black man from France. His father was West Indian, but his mother was French, white French, and he loved this country more than anything, and he'd traveled everywhere, China, Russia, as a journalist in information technology.
Hmm.
He was really smart, and he had traveled the world. And to him, the best country in the whole world was the United States, and the best state for him was Tennessee, because those were his people. I can't explain it, but those were his people.
Well, I mean, like you guys, I remember your Instagram and he was posting like he was a cowboy with the boots and he
Yeah,
had the rings and he was drinking the whiskey,
Stetson
the
over
little,
is
yeah,
the bourbon. It was the whole
and the
thing.
bourbon.
Yeah, he
Hmm.
just loved it, and you know, when it's he's irreplaceable, and then something like that happens, and your life, that life is over now, and now you have to figure out your new life.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks after that, like I was attacked by the
The
cancer.
haters, the cancelers.
Can you imagine writing about my beautiful husband who had just died? Can
Your
you imagine,
beautiful, charming husband who was all about love and he was passionate about the
who was
country,
very
about,
kind to those people, and I know
yeah.
exactly who they are, and he was very kind to them,
Hmm.
and they know. I mean, I can't wait to see them again. But I look at them and I think, stand by the riverbank, babe.
I'm going to be there with you, babe.
that
Maybe we should be drinking
stuff
bourbon when
doesn't
that
that
happens.
doesn't go away. You don't screw with a person's life like that. It just
You
doesn't.
you really don't. And what I really don't like about I mean, I hated when that happened. I was furious.
Oh, people were. They had to close the comments. I mean, it was
I never should have run in the first place.
Of course not. But they're all,
Yeah,
I mean, they're just scumbags.
they are scumbags. And
So,
you know what the thing is too? It's like, and the scumbags don't think we know what they did. And they write on your Instagram post, love you, miss you. And then like,
oh
you're
no,
like, oh yeah, sure.
we
And you
know.
hear what they're saying about you behind your
Of
back.
course.
Like,
That's the other thing is that gossip is currency. And I
mm-hmm,
know people very close to me, I've had to endure like best friends, just trading on gossip about me for years. And I don't know, it's just that stuff is just not that interesting to me.
yeah, because you're not the kind of person who like goes out and is like a heat-seeking missile going out there trying to destroy somebody's life. You're creating, you're not destroying.
No,
Like,
I don't
I
even
mean,
want
there's a
that much.
difference.
I don't even want that much attention. I mean, I'm mal off. I do that, but sometimes.
I mean, you mouth. The thing
But,
is, though,
but
you do mouth off, but you're defending yourself, and you're
but it's
pointing.
also true that everything I have, because I have friends, I have new friends now, and they're like, "How did you know? How did you know that all these things were going to happen?" And I just said, I'm a writer. I'm aware. It's my job to observe human nature.
Mm.
In 2016, June 2016, I tweeted out something like Hillary and Obama better be looking at Brexit. And I didn't mean it as a threat. I meant it as a warning because I could
Mm-hmm.
see the wave of populism coming up for good reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this writer in LA was like, called me Ann Coulter for pointing out the obvious.
That was the obvious, and
And
then
it
like
was the
somebody,
obvious.
right?
And then she emailed me and also talked about how she went to Harvard. Anyway, so
Oh,
that's those people. I I know
yeah.
more. I can't go into the family situation,
Mm-hmm.
but it was so obvious to me. How did you miss it? It was obvious to Bill Clinton at the time. It was obvious to a lot of people. It's obvious that things have gotten that the pendulum swung this way and it's coming back. It's just the way it is. So just because I'm early doesn't mean I'm wrong.
Right. It's because
I want
you've
you to be
had the
wrong.
vision and the foresight because you know how the
Yeah,
arc works. You map out stories so you could see like where the story's
right.
going.
And I don't place myself above anyone who works for a living, who works an
Mm-hmm.
honest job. So in other words, if I'm talking to Uber drivers or waitresses or just guys who work the land or whatever, I'm not above. I hear their
Wait, you're
story.
not an elitist, Gigi? You're not
I
elitist?
sadly no. But that prevents people. The dinner parties prevent people from actually hearing, seeing, sensing what's truly going on
Mm-hmm.
on the street. They miss the drumbeat, and
Yeah.
I was excoriated for that. Just being observant. Not even I'm still a member of the Democratic Party, whatever that means. Honestly, I'm just too lazy to like.
Well, I
Everyone's like,
was a member of the Democratic Party.
are you
When I
into?
moved to Florida, I changed that.
Ah, so
Yeah.
I feel like I'm independent, and I feel like you are too.
Well, I did register as independent because a
And you
certain
have to be.
person was running as independent
I
at
see.
at the time.
So you have to be careful about
Mm-hmm.
falling in. One thing I don't like is to fall into the trap of following. I don't want to fall. I just never, it goes against my nature
Mm-hmm.
to be, groupthink goes against my nature. So, and I question everything. But anyway, that's my, that's
I want
where
to get
I am.
want to get back to that because I'm feeling now, like politically, like, I mean, really, it's like the right wing and the left wing and the right wing. They are, two wings of the same predatory bird, and we are the mice. Sometimes I do feel that way,
I'm always shocked I'm not shocked that politicians are horrible, for the most part. But
For the most part, there's some I like, obviously.
How easy it is for them to be corrupted. I'm shocked at how little money it takes for them to be bought off. I'm shocked at the stock trades across the board. Like, where's Harry Truman?
But then Harry Truman, though, was a Freemason, and he was like, I don't know. It's like, and even George Washington was too. So, I mean, I know it's like, who even knows?
I like George Washington. I was at West Point and I took a tour, and the tour guide said the reason that West Point is called West Point is because George Washington was coming down the Hudson River, and it was the furthest west point that was jutting out a demarcation between, they had to keep the British from crossing that line. So that was the West Point.
Oh, interesting. Really?
Today. Isn't that cool? There's a whole statue
cool.
to him and everything. It's awesome.
That is really cool. I mean, the truth is, though, our founding fathers, the Constitution should just not be fucked with, period.
Oh, it's a complete genius. It's crazy. Yeah. And they were kids. They were in their 20s for the most part.
I know. Like,
parents might have been older. Anyway, it's such a beautiful document.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I wonder what they would think.
I mean, it's not as beautiful as some of my scripts, but it's pretty good.
Well, yeah, your scripts are beautiful. Hey, let's talk about, you have a movie that just came out. Let's talk about that. And okay, so I haven't seen it yet, I have to admit, but I'm going to see it.
I've seen it 3 times. That's enough for both of us. I think that's just
no.
My third one is yours.
Well, I'm going to go see it, and I can't wait to see it. And fun. Well, of course it's fun. You wrote it. So Trust is a 2025 American thriller directed by Carlson Young, Sophie Turner stars, written by Gigi Levangie. Okay. And she stars as a Hollywood actress who hides in a remote cabin after a scandal, only to find herself betrayed and fighting for survival against someone she once trusted.
Oops.
So, let me ask you something right off the bat. I mean, I want to ask you a few things about it, but do you have trust issues?
Oh my God, yes. Funny, not so much with people as with entities. I think of Hollywood as Hollywood as this giant entity, kind of this mass and I definitely have trust issues with that, because it's sorry, I'm gonna hear. Because as a writer, even at the very tippy top of the ladder, you can have people who want to take credit, who want to screw you over, who will work deviously to steal your ideas or whatever it is. So my solution for that is just to keep working, and never again work with people whom I don't trust. Thankfully, most people aren't like that. It's just Hollywood really does attract a certain type because here you got the
Mhm.
trifecta: fame, power, money, right? Because-
Mm. I
So
never heard it put that way, but I
so
think that's really
it
concise and brilliant.
attracts
Yeah.
a, probably a higher number of sociopaths than for sure than other industries like insurance or whatever.
Mm.
Although
Right.
although
Wow.
certainly not politicians. That's a whole other. So speaking of sociopaths, um, but yeah, I think it's easy for people to get caught up and start losing their ethics and morals and whatnot.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, because they just are so desperate. Why is that? Just because they're so desperate
They
to
see
get
get
something
something.
made and.
They're so desperate for that golden ring. To be on the
Hmm.
mountaintop. I don't. It may not be as it was before when I was coming up in the business, when before Netflix and before all these streamers and before um, people weren't getting paid as much or what have you. But yeah, I think LA is like the nexus of that, although it's spreading out. So maybe that's actually good for Hollywood. We have obviously you have studios in Nashville. We've got Daily Wire, um, Angel Studios, Teton Ridge isn't another one. I don't think that's in Nashville, but um, Taylor Sheridan's studio, Mark Wahlberg's studio. Um, so who knows what it's going to look like in 5 years?
Yeah. I really like Taylor Sheridan. I
Yeah, I
have
think
to be
he's great.
honest.
You know why I think he's great? I think
Hmm.
he's like Mike. He's like a Mike White. Uh,
Mm.
it's entirely his vision, and he
Hmm.
sticks to it. Feels like
Hmm.
it's authentic to who he is, and it's not watered down. Like
Yeah.
I feel like Mike White is such a genius. Geez, he's just. I wish if I could have. I wish I would wish to have his career. Um,
Oh, that's
yeah,
interesting.
he's.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to be like Billy Wilder, but Mike or the Coen brothers. But Mike White is right
Hmm.
up there. I mean, you know what you're getting with White Lotus. Uh,
Hmm.
some of it you may not
Yeah.
like or whatever, or you may think it goes too far,
Hmm.
but it's always him.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel that way. I also like Taylor Sheridan. I think like the character of Beth
Oh,
Dutton in
iconic. I
Yellowstone
mean, come on.
is she's like the best female character ever.
Beth
I
doesn't
just
give a
love
fuck.
her.
Yeah, she just,
She does not give a fuck.
and
And
she's
the way she
gorgeous.
just like slices and dices
Yes.
like those tourists at the
Yeah.
bar when she's in a bad
Yeah.
mood, she'll just go to the tourist bar and just like fillet
Yeah.
these
Yeah. Yeah.
men, these
Yeah.
people. Yeah,
Fun,
genius.
and it's fun to watch. So there are some visionaries like that in Hollywood. Um,
Hmm.
and that's really exciting to me. And also maybe we're entering a world where like just pick up your phone and make a movie. I mean, Spike Lee worked that way before, and his work was really interesting when he first started. Before She's Gotta Have It, I think there was another one before that.
Do the
It
right
was Do the
thing.
Right
She's
Thing.
got to
She's
have
Gotta
it.
Have It maybe was the first one I saw, but just authentically Spike.
Yeah.
And that I really respect, and because that's what art should be. What we have now, and you can always feel it, is that
Hmm.
art is. I think it might be pivoting again, but it's just flattened. It's just flattened out, inoffensive, pleasing to
Yeah.
everybody. just flattened out. And that's not art. That's kind of like, I don't know, oatmeal, cream of wheat. It's, you know, oh,
Yeah, and I
oh, you
hate
didn't
those.
offend anyone. Congratulations. Like, I,
Yeah, you did
oh,
the
you
right
did the
thing.
right
I
thing.
know.
You get,
Yes, and you said all the right things.
you get a cookie.
Yeah.
But I just can't stand, I'll start reading a book. I'm always reading, and I'll start reading a book, and like 5 pages in, here it comes. Like the virtue signaling, whatever it is. Some editor said, can you add a blah blah here? Can you do this? Can you
Hmm.
change that? Um, it's just not interesting. I don't know. It's not, it doesn't feel
I just,
authentic. I don't buy.
it's not. It's not. And it's like they don't want to offend anybody, but you got in the business to have a voice and to put it out there, and they're sanding your edges.
Well,
Like,
maybe you just don't
you know,
have edges. I see a whole generation that doesn't seem to. I don't. That's unfair because everybody shits on Gen Z, but the Gen Zs I know, hardworking, badass. Like, are you kidding? Like, they're capable of doing anything. They're great, but
hmm.
then you go out in the world and you see like. Uh, what screens have done to a generation, what the news has done, what pharmaceuticals have done. And that's to sort of numb and flatten and take the edge off. I mean, I didn't go on anything
Yeah. I
after
mean,
my husband died. It was so, just boom. And people were saying, you should get on this or get on that. And I thought, nope, I have to get through. I can't go around it. I
mm.
can't numb it because it'll come out later. Grief is really interesting. I'm writing a book about that too. It just,
I wanted to, yeah, I was going to ask you about that because that was like, I mean, I would love to hear how you dealt with that because the way you were, I mean, you were just like so present and when you were going through
well,
that
it was a
and
gift to be. I had to honor him. I couldn't lose my
yeah,
shit. I had
you didn't lose your
to
shit
keep it
at
together
all.
for my boys. And I said to Thomas, my older
Mhm.
son, the morning of, I said, I'll be okay if you're okay. And he looked at me, he said,
Mhm.
Patrick and I will be okay because Chris was here and we know what to do with our lives.
Wow.
That's that's the type of person he was. And so how can I dishonor him by bringing
Mm.
more attention to myself, by falling apart, but I had to like be strong. And because I do have a belief that there is another world past this one. He was
Mhm.
baptized 3 months before he died. He had he
Yeah,
was
yeah, he was very Christian, right? I mean, I
he
saw that.
transformed, and I was like there for it
Mhm.
because I wasn't on his level, but I was also like, I'm going to go to church with him. This is great. It feels good. It feels good to start your
Mhm.
week with something meaningful. Great stories in the
Mhm.
Bible. You know, some great
Oh
music
yeah,
and
I
happy
know.
people and seeing beautiful families. So I was like all in for him. Like I like that for him.
Mhm.
So how do I not believe that he made it? And I had a dream about it and
Mhm.
everything, and seeing him like beaming, and I just. But if without that, that is a tough. I think
Mhm.
that's a tough road. I'm not judging people who don't believe in God or whatever, but I think that is a really tough road when you lose a loved one. To
But Gigi, I agree, and I think people would really like to hear how you,
oh
you
yeah,
know.
I'm
I mean, this is a great book that
yeah.
you're talking about.
I'm writing it amongst everything else. Like I just said,
How
I
many
don't
things are
know.
you writing?
I
2
don't
screenplays
know.
and
I
a
have
book right now?
a couple books. No, I have 3 books.
Mm-hmm.
In my well, one finished, one almost finished, and halfway through with the Chris book. And then I have these, screenplays that I just am always.
All right, I got to ask you how you focus and divide everything up and keep your notes, okay? Because this is very interesting to me. Because okay, here's the thing: I have always have projects like on my
Baby, we're Capricorn. We are always working. What else
we're
are we doing?
Capricorns.
What else is there? What am
Yeah,
I going
what
to do?
else is there? What else is?
Go to
Yeah, we're like we
lunch?
need to get shit
Lunch? Are you
done.
kidding?
Fuck that. I
Lunch.
hate lunch. I hate lunch. I hate
Get your
going to meals.
sandwich away
I
from
really
me. I don't want
do. Like, it's boring. It's like seed oils. Ew. Hate that. So, but here's the thing, Gigi, because, like, okay, let's take this grief book, for instance, right? And you've told me, Marisa, you better be taking notes. And I have to admit, sometimes I have, and
Yeah, I
sometimes
know.
I haven't. Like, I know. Have you always taken notes on
No,
everything?
no.
Because so you
I
did,
try to.
yeah.
When Chris died, I took notes. I just spoke into my phone. So I had
Mm-hmm.
pages and pages of stuff because I didn't want to forget little details. Um, and sometimes when you're writing, it all comes back, I don't think you truly forget anything. But it is fun to
Okay.
look back on journals and go, oh, 10 years ago, I was worried about this and nothing happened, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Or I was hoping for
Yeah.
that, or I was worried about the kids, or I like seeing things like Patrick hit a home run, or Thomas hit a home run, or whatever it is, you know. Um, yeah, it's just to be amazed at how far we've all come in our lives, especially the older you get, and you're in that time when you're taking care of your mom now. Like that's where you are, you know?
I mean, I feel bad about today because I should have had posted about our talk
Why
earlier,
do you feel bad? You
and
can't feel bad. I don't even know how to
mm,
post about it. So,
I think we should
all I
do
know
this
is we
again,
look
though.
good. So, all
Well,
I know is we're cute.
you're so pretty.
And that's what really
You're very
matters
pretty.
at the end of the day. At the end of the
Mm. Well, you know what? I think what matters is that we are both happy, reasonably
yeah,
happy, right? Yeah.
but
And
we
we're
do the
not
hard
bitter.
stuff. No, we're not bitter. Um,
No, no, we're not bitter. We're not vengeful, angry,
well, I am
hateful,
vengeful.
deranged people. All
But
right,
you
I'm
know what?
vengeful
But
too,
like I
but
said, it all takes care of it all takes care of itself, and you know.
yeah. So here's the thing though. Okay. So you're writing this grief book and you say that you haven't written everything down. You have some
I have quite
notes,
a few.
right? The
Yeah,
big
yeah.
moments yeah,
Created it.
right. But okay, would you say you have 30% notes or 70, or what percentage are you at that you're working off
Um,
of? Is it
40,
going to be like
40 to
80% memory?
50, 40 to 50.
Okay.
I have to look back on it because I haven't worked on it in a while. It's a
Uh-huh.
hard one, and I don't know how much to divulge really. So it might not be something I'll
Mm,
publish right away. But it really is about the nature of grief. And it's like a riptide. Like sometimes you think it's calm, you think you're heading in, this day is okay, I feel good
mhm,
in this moment, and then
mhm.
it just grabs you and pulls you under. But you know what? I never stayed in bed all day. I always got up.
Mhm.
I always went to sleep at the same time. I just felt like I had to go through the motions of normal life as much as possible, because I knew I needed all my faculties and my strength. What you do is you lose weight right away, right?
Yeah, you really did
Yeah,
lose a lot of
and
weight. You
it's,
did. You did.
you know, you just can't help it. It's hard to eat. But people were so
Yeah.
kind, and that's the other thing you find
Mm-hmm.
is that these people in Tennessee, they were so kind, literally saved my life, in multiple
Mm-hmm.
ways. I had a couple, my best friends here, they they moved in. I had an apartment above the garage. I was on 40 acres alone with my dog. So
Wow.
my sister Mimi,
Yeah.
my friend Mimi came to stay with me for a week. My sister Mimi came to stay with me for a week. My then my friends.
You
And
have two Mimis?
yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
realize that. That would be funny, both my
that is
two
really
Mimis.
funny. And then Ashley and Shane, they just somehow they just showed up, like they knew I needed them before I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just like this journey. And I hate using that word, but it was, you're living without skin for a while. You're very vulnerable, but it was like
Mm-hmm.
the process of regrowing your cells, yourself. And I
Mm-hmm.
went to a plastic surgeon. I'll probably put this in there, like a year after he died, and I said I can't. My because I would take pictures of myself, because I was fascinated, not to print, not to show anyone, but I was fascinated because what grief does to a face.
Oh,
It
interesting.
ju
What'd it do?
everything just dropped. Everything dropped.
Oh.
My eyelids, everything. It was, even a smile was not a smile. So I went to see if I could get a new face. And then I went out with
Mm-hmm.
my gay friends. It would have cost 75K. And I went out with my gay friends that night in LA, and they're like, are you crazy? You look weird. And I was like,
Yeah, I remember that. Didn't you post something about doing it? And everybody was like,
yeah. And
no.
of course I posted that, so they would say no. Of course. Also, I don't know. I just don't. Uh, I'm glad I didn't. I don't blame people for doing whatever they need to do, but not my time right now.
You look
Thank
great.
you.
I'm serious. You always look good.
Thank you. You
Yeah,
too.
like Gloria Swanson.
Oh my God, I just saw Sunset Boulevard again. Unbelievable.
I saw it
It's
for the
so
first time last
modern.
year. It's
It's
great.
so modern.
It's
A
Yeah,
screenwriter.
because the writing is so crisp
Yes.
and like
Yes.
iconic and archetypal.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Great. It's so good. She's fantastic. William Holden is great. And I know, of course, I grew up in LA, so I know, like, is that the driveway? Do I know that driveway? I know, like, the old apartments. I know all that's in Hollywood, all that stuff. It was just great. It's so fantastic when old movies hold up, you know? So many.
Yeah. That one really,
Yeah,
really holds up.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, we're going through our Billy Wilder stage with The Apartment and, Double Indemnity, and it's just, like, so many good ones.
I never saw those. Maybe I
You
should.
should. I mean, when you have time.
Yeah, who has
I
time?
know.
But
Well,
yeah. But I mean, I would like to go I would like to see something like that because I mean, okay,
yeah.
here's a question. Be, you mentioned the pendulum
Yeah.
earlier, right? So, and I'm looking at this whole thing with Melania and Vanity Fair, which I'm actually
Oh,
laughing
it's so
at because
ridiculous.
it's so
I
ridiculous. And the Cracker Barrel thing is And even because it's like owned by BlackRock, give me a break. They want you to like own nothing and eat bugs. So like, and then you're paying attention to like Cracker Barrel, like a fake store with like a fake logo, and which is ridiculous. But the whole thing with like Melania and like, Vanity Fair, like they're gonna quit, but then the editor-in-chief wants to be like a little more conservative. So where do you think we are in the media at this point, and where do you think we are with Hollywood? I mean, because
Well,
it
I think
seems like, you know,
maybe I shouldn't say this, but Vanity Fair, nobody cares.
no, but I know
No,
nobody cares.
it doesn't have Graydon Carter. It doesn't, Tina Brown. Nobody. Those days are over. Those days are gone. We're not picking up any magazines from the newsstand anymore. So,
Even the ones who everybody thinks are so important.
like what? I mean, Time, Newsweek. Listen, I should be super nice because, of course, I only want great reviews or whatever. But it's not me. It's just the way things have worked out. It's the Cy Newhouses and all that era. It was a fantastic era for magazines. We had best. I mean, the glossy, the September issue of Vogue, beauty. I mean, beyond. It's done. It's done. So
And it's,
Melania shouldn't care at all. The problem with publicity is when you get it, you're also making yourself a bigger target. So I don't know, does she even want to be on the cover? Like, I don't think they've involved her, but does she want it?
I don't even know if she wants it, but I mean, like, every single first lady's been on like the Vogue cover, when they were first lady, except for her.
Kim Kardashian was on the Vogue cover, like fairly close.
And like to me, like when Kim Kardashian started appearing in Vogue, that was
that was a scene.
I mean,
that was a
that was
scene.
kind of
That was it.
That was it. Yeah, that
I
was
don't
like
know. You went
when
from these
Vogue jumped the
beautiful
shark.
swans to not that she's not beautiful because she is, but we're talking about these 6 foot tall, these stunning women that used to roam the village like antelope, their little heads, long bodies.
Yeah.
You can't. It's so sad to me because we were also lied to, and we were told there's all kinds of beauties. Beauty isn't high cheekbones, and beauty isn't this, and beauty. Well, it kind of is. It's symmetry.
I agree. And I actually think the whole thing about like don't fat shame people was just a way to get us to it. Yeah, but it was also a way to get us not to exercise and to eat badly and not take care of ourselves and to weaken
COVID.
humanity. Yeah. Like I hated that. I'm like, no, people shouldn't really get fit and take care of themselves and live long, happy lives. Like,
so
crap.
Well, I was going to tell the story about this. No, this new. Okay, so I was playing tennis, Santa Monica, public court, Ocean View Courts, and there was a homeless woman. I was waiting for Waymo. There's a homeless woman in her tent, poor thing, screaming and everything. And she looks at me and she stops and she goes, "You muscle bound bitch." And I was like, I feel seen. I was like, thank you. Like,
yeah, you are. I'm like, I'm not doing that shit.
But I'm half Bulgarian. That's all we're good at. We're good at lifting weight. So I was like, I'm gonna have a line, MBB.
I love it. Muscle bound bitch.
Now I'm kind of weighing whether it's like, do we just do MBB without the bitch part? Because here it won't fly here. It won't fly in Tennessee, I don't think.
Really? Will it fly in Florida?
Maybe
I
Florida,
think it would.
Venice, because this was born in Venice, Santa Monica. I'm going to have like established Venice. But isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? I'm like,
I love
this is what
that.
I was born to do, damn it. So you never know.
That is
Get,
really,
get
that's like
inspiration
amazing.
wherever you can.
Exactly. And that homeless woman, she
Oh,
really
listen,
did
I'm
see
gonna
you,
find
man.
her and make her a partner. Like I
You
know.
should. And you should definitely at least give her a cap, for God's
Absolutely.
sake.
Absolutely. With a logo, of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
felt so
I mean, that is
seen for the
awesome.
first time in my life. I'm like, thank you, honey.
Aw. So, Gigi, I love that. So, Gigi, what's next for you besides moving over here?
Gosh, what's next? Hopefully I have many scripts out there and hopefully get another one made. That would be great. I released Fast and Loose, one of my books on Substack, but I'm going to get that published in hardcover. I just
Awesome.
have so much material, and day to day I'm creating more material, so it's hard to catch up with the material that I just, had. But rest assured, always working.
And that's like what keeps you sane and who you are.
And you want to say,
You got to keep, like, you know what? You're a creator, not a
exactly. And you
destroyer.
want the Capricorns to be sane. You want us to always be working.
Yeah, because if we're not working,
Exactly.
it's ugly. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's scary because then we're mad we're not working. So you got to like leave us alone and let us work.
Give us
our space, leave us alone. We'll come out of our writing caves when we're ready, but just like stop.
Give us our coffee. Turn around and walk out.
Yeah, right. We love you, but just get out.
Mean it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, anything else you want to say? Anything else?
I think we covered so much, but I love seeing you. You're glowing. I love your mane.
Thanks. I need to get like a really good hair color or so, but
Yours
I'll work
isn't
on
coming
that.
gray because mine just, phew.
It is, I'm telling you, but it's like weird.
Whatever. We're here. We're here. We're above ground. Still, baby.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. All right. Love you, Gigi.
Mm.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Thanks for
Bye.
tuning in.